And so to wrap up, I have like a couple like rapid fire questions for you. So how much gear does it typically take for us to unbolt like a proof testing machine and throw it on a truck?
Well, if you're talking about our vertical, it's a 50,000 pound unit, I believe. Stands 12 feet 2 inches tall, if I remember correctly. You're going to need to unhook it from the electrical, which I believe was again 440 3-phase. The computer software is obviously hooked into it, so that'll all need to be unplugged. And can that be plugged in at the customer's facility, I believe, into the internet, so it can still be functional.
Right.
I'm not sure if it stands alone or if it has to be on the system. But then obviously it's 12 feet 2, so there's cylinders on each side. So you're gonna have to take it to the ground. When you pick it up with the tow motor, it's obviously not balanced because you've got a very heavy base with the cylinders. So you're gonna have to very carefully pick it so as not to damage the cylinders. And obviously we're gonna take our load cell out because we don't wanna damage our load cell. We're gonna get it on a truck and we're gonna get it to your facility. Do you have a tow motor big enough with long enough forks? That's another thing I just remembered, is I believe we need at least 8 to 10 foot forks on a tow motor in order to get underneath it and pick it up all the way.
So we get into the truck, we get it on the truck. Do we bring the tow motor with us?
No. Okay. That's what we're gonna ask you is, do you have the equipment to even be able to get it off our truck?
So then to get on site, let's say they have that tow motor, then what do we need to hook it into their system? Do we need, somebody's got to plug it in, right?
Somebody's gonna stand it back up.
Okay.
Somebody's got an electrician or a qualified person is going to hardwire it in or put their own plug on it. Okay. Because I think there's a lot of different plugs. I know I can think back to the days of an automotive company. They had their own plug, different from any other plug out there. So they had to take off ours. An electrician had to rewire it, plug it in, and then we run the cylinders up and down to test the phasing. If the phasing was off, he'd have to go back in and rewire it, so you test all that. We then put everything back together, and we have to be in like I said, in a secluded area, because there are gates, protective guarding. But again, we still want to create the safest environment possible.
So then, do we have to supply the operator, like our Jason Eisen, to run?
Yes, we'll put our own people. Our people can run it. Our people can do the rigging as best as possible. Again, because we'll have determined ahead of time what they have and can we even do it. And then there's other things. Is okay? Is your safety person responsible going to approve this? Because they then have to understand what's really going to happen. Do they understand the piece of equipment? Are they going to approve it? I know our hydraulic cylinders are going to have hydraulic fluid. What happens if, when they were unloading it, one of their tow motors snaps one of our lines? Because
then you have hazmat.
Then you've got hazmat. So you're talking MSDS, all these other things.
So that you get it there, you hook it up, you finish, and now when you're tearing it out to go back home, same electrician's got to unplug it.
And if they bolt it at the ground, which they should, they're going to unbolt it, probably have to remove their lag bolts or burn them out. They're going to have to topple it, load it back onto the truck, and then we're going to get out of there. So that's just a lot of time in itself.
And so who eats that cost? That's
all part of the job to the customer.
Okay, so in order to facilitate the truck ride both ways, the electrician hook it up, all the personnel that it takes to pick it up, move it, put it down, all that gets eaten by you, the customer. Right,
and it'll all be quoted as a package.
Right.
But again, those are costs that are involved, and we understand other vendors have different ways of doing it, which is fantastic to them. I'm not here to celebrate them or question what they're doing. I wanted to merely identify what the questions you should be asking and understand why it is a challenge, why it is possible, but also why it's so different than you just taking something and sending it in to us. Not all the time you can, that's why you need the mobile testing. But understand, just like anything else, are you receiving what you're paying for? So you have to be able to witness what's happening.
Thank you for watching today's video. If you liked it, show us by hitting that thumbs up button right below this video player. And if you haven't already, there's a button that'll let you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way, you don't miss out on any future content that we make. And if you want to keep watching, there's a video player right above that that'll let you keep watching. Thanks.